Beyond the Back Four react to Arsenal's ruthless 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest and why it could be a title statement.
Let's start with Arsenal. Graham, talk to us about Zubimendi. Is this what Arsenal fans were expecting when this transfer came about? Because that first goal was absolutely ludicrous.
It was great. I think that whole game just sums up the strength of Arsenal's squad now, which was a massive point of what Andrea Berta was trying to do over the summer, where it wasn't just signing replacements, but to have such an in-depth squad now. You know, Odegaard went off early on, and Zubimendi stepped up. And that's what Arsenal are doing here. They have world-class players all over now. And Zubimendi, that's just a performance that I think we'll see on a regular basis now. You know, he's a thoroughly important player for Spain. He's going to be a very important player for Arsenal, and he showed it at the weekend. It wasn't just the goal, the way he dictated play. He was sublime.
Dan, let's talk about Odegaard going off injured, because in previous seasons, especially from a United perspective, Arsenal have been a bit of fun to laugh at because they keep coming second. They never really challenge, though, do they? They just sort of are the next best team in seasons when someone has comfortably won the league. And a part of their problem has always been that lack of squad depth and injuries. It does seem like they're starting to fill those holes when injuries come, like Saka, unavailable, not been a problem.
Yeah, I mean, last season you saw Saka started the season on fire, and when he went out, their performances began to kind of trade off. They missed him. And this season, they've got options. They've got Madueke, with Odegaard going off, they've got Eze, they've got Nwaneri who can come on. They've got a real variety of options, and it's really hard to look at their squad and say that's a weak point. That's where they're lacking depth. That's where they're short. They have recruited well, and you kind of got to give them credit for that. And I think they're going to be hard to, yes, they lost to Liverpool the other week, but they're going to be right up there. They're going to be pushing throughout the season.
Talk about Viktor Gyökeres. Talk about them recruiting well. Only I think it's the third Arsenal player ever to score consecutive goals in his first appearances at, I don't know if this would have included Highbury, but certainly now that they've moved. Do you know who the other two are? Anyone want to guess?
Ian Wright?
Not Ian Wright.
Nicholas Anelka?
Not Nicholas Anelka. What if I told you one of them was Marouane Chamakh and the other was Lacazette?
Lacazette, fair enough. Well, it's no guarantee that it's going to sustain.
That's exactly what we can tell from that stat.
I mean, look, Gyökeres is a proven player in that he's experienced. He's, one of the reasons I was quite keen on actually him coming to United was the fact that he's, unlike Benjamin Sesko, who we might get into, he's less of a project. He's a ready-made striker with European experience, and he's going to go straight into the Arsenal system and flourish. There were a couple of whispers early on after the first game against United where it was a bit flat, but overall, he's going to score goals. He'll probably end up with about 20, 25 this season. And I think Arsenal have recruited well with him. It was a sensible call by them to bring him in.
I mean, we're not talking about United, but Dan's brought up Benjamin Sesko. Graham, do you think if you swapped the two goal scorers, the only difference would be the one at Arsenal would have scored goals and the one at United hadn't?
No, I think there's a big difference in the players. One's young, unproven. I think the other one's ready to go. And Andrea Berta had his choice of strikers here, Sam. Nobody did more work on Benjamin Sesko than Arsenal over the last 12 months. And Andrea Berta, when he came in, he did an awful lot of work on those two players. It's not to take away from Sesko, but as Dan said, he's a work in progress. He's not the finished article. So that's just where we are. I think Gyökeres is plug and play, ready to go. He's ready to fire a team towards title contention at the very least. And that's the difference.
Okay. Do you think Arsenal are now genuine challengers for the Premier League title in a way that maybe they haven't been in the last few years?
Yeah, I think there's not a lot of difference between Liverpool and Arsenal, to be fair. It's going to be a case of, it's almost like a war of attrition. So it's who's going to drop the least points between now and May. Liverpool will get into, they're not playing especially well, but they're grinding out wins, they're winning games, which is what you can ask for from a manager's point of view. Arsenal, again, they're not playing at full speed. They're not clicking into full gear yet. There's improvements they can make as well. But they're both going to get tested with injuries. They're both going to get tested with Champions League, domestic cups as well. And it's where these squads are going to really come into play. And Arsenal have as strong a squad as any. You could even argue their squad defensively is a lot stronger than Liverpool's. And over the course of the season, it's just a case of who drops the fewest points. So Liverpool and Arsenal are going to be probably with two to watch. And then City, your wild card, have probably dropped 2 more points than they would have liked early on, but they're going to be in the mix.
Catch the full Arsenal discussion and the rest of the weekend's Premier League action on Beyond the Back Four.